Hello and welcome to another episode of the Waffle Press movie podcast. I am your host, Diego Crespo. With me I have...
Gina Versa.
Just kidding, I have no one. Get out of here. Go away.
Bastard.
Okay. No, it's Gene and Diego and we're back and talking about movies and such. Mm-hmm. That little tune you just heard was from our friend Justin Faustinos. Mm-hmm. Thank you for that, Justin. He's at Arias Mark on Instagram. Mm-hmm. ARIAS_Mark, MARK.
Yeah.
So give him a follow. He's a good friend of ours and makes fantastic music. So
right. And it's cool to have a theme now too.
Yes, it just feels right.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah, thank you for that, Justin. We have quite a few topics to cover today. The first one is actually quite tragic. We lost Bill Paxton.
I know.
From Aliens, Near Dark, True Lies. Every James Cameron movie, Predator 2, yeah. The only actor to ever been killed by Alien, a Predator, and a Terminator. Mm. So, you know, that just lets you know how much of a legend this character actor truly was.
Mm. And you know, he wasn't that old either. He was like 60. You know, I mean, it was just like complications from surgery.
Yeah, it's really a bummer. I mean. What a guy. And apparently he was just like the nicest person you could talk to.
I think I was listening to the Mark Maron podcast. And he did it like a week before his death too.
Wow.
And like, yeah, he just seemed like a really down-to-earth dude. And, you know, it's just, yeah, I mean, I'm going to miss him. Won't have him any more movies. What's your favorite film from him? Do you have any, or just whatever comes to mind?
It's hard to pick a favorite one, but I think... In Near Dark,
okay,
it's very different for him, but still very Bill Paxton. You know, he's got your Bill Paxtonisms, where it's not over the top and it's not cheesy. He's just clearly having a ball with it, and he's so good at these character genre performances in these genre movies where it's infectious. You know, like he's having fun, you're having fun, everyone's having fun. Like there's no movie where you're like, I didn't like Bill Paxton in that role, or I wish he wasn't there.
Yeah,
you know, and that guy could do everything. He was in Nightcrawler, Edge of Tomorrow.
Yeah. I really liked him in Edge of Tomorrow, because you know he just kind of disappears into that role. You almost forget it's Bill Paxton. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that was really great. Aliens, he's great.
Oh yeah, Aliens, the classic Game Over line. Game Over man.
And then Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, in the back half of the first season, he's the main villain.
Garrett.
Yeah, I mean, and he's just, of course, Bill Paxton it up too, where he's just full on, like perfect for a comic book villain, I think.
Right, yeah.
Just really elevated what was already turning into a pretty good show by that point. And yeah, he was always a wonderful presence on screen, and it's a bummer that we lost him. You know? Yeah.
Game over.
Yeah, well, I saw a really heartfelt tweet about, what's the line in Aliens, like, express elevator to hell going down? Like, oh, he's on an express elevator to heaven going up, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, what a guy.
Yeah, we're going to miss him. Yeah. Anyway.
On to our regularly scheduled stuff. We're talking Oscars, awards, and if you watched the Oscars, it was boring and then it was wild. So we'll definitely talk about that.
To put it lightly.
Yeah, but really quick, let's break down some movie news. The Raid is being directed by Joe Carnahan. Gareth Evans, the original director of The Raid and The Raid 2, has given his blessing and is producing it alongside them.
Right, the remake of The Raid.
Yeah, and originally that wasn't going to happen with the remake of The Raid, I believe. Yeah. And so like they discussed with him like their ideas, Joe Carnahan and Frank Grillo, and he's on board with it. So the question becomes, does The Raid, not so much as does The Raid need a remake, should we be open to it?
Right.
Gene, I'll go into my Joe Carnahanisms later, but what do you think about this?
Yeah, I think it deserves like a remake, you know. I don't think it'll beat the original, but like, I mean, if it has everyone involved saying, you know, that's cool, I'll give it the benefit of the doubt, you know. Yeah. That's fine with me. I mean, if it's fine with them, you know.
Yeah. I'm a very big fan of The Raid and The Raid 2. I think those are some of the best action movies, like, period.
Right.
And then Joe Carnahan has made some of my favorite movies, period, as well. The Gray. Period, as the always entertaining Sean Spicer would say. The Grey, I think, is just phenomenal. Stretch.
Still need to see Stretch.
Everyone wants Stretch. It's, to quote my friend Cameron Carpenter, it's like if Bad Boys 2 got punched in the face by Holy Motors. And it's just... You gotta watch it. It's on Netflix. It never made it to theaters because they pulled the release for... They weren't gonna make any money off it.
Right.
But it was really weird how that was handled. And Joe Carnahan brings like a remarkable energy to his movies too. And he's a very underrated action director. And listening to him and Frank Grillo talk to Collider about their ideas for the movie, I was getting a little excited, but then I'm always like...
At least it's not like a soulless remake.
Why? Yeah, like they're clearly excited for it. And they brought up a good point. Like, yeah, they're not traditional Hollywood. Like, oh, here's a movie that made a lot of money, so we're going to make it over here now. They're the guys who have to fight to make something. Right. And so I think the fact that they're putting their time and effort into it says something about it. But at the end of the day, I still don't know. Yeah. You know, like, we got to see what comes next.
Definitely.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah. Last thing on that news, they said they briefly mentioned Iko Uwais, who was the star of the original 2 Raids, and were like, Frank Grillo and him worked on a movie, Beyond Skyline, a sequel to the infamous 2010 Skyline, the first movie I ever watched at midnight. Okay.
Did you fall asleep?
I did not, but I wondered why I watched it. And they became friends on that project, Beyond Skyline, and so they talked about it, and maybe not have a role for him in this adaptation or reimagining of the Raid. Interesting stuff. Next up, the Batman has a director again after losing Ben Affleck, and it's Matt Reeves.
I was really excited for that. That's probably been like this is the best news I heard coming from DC in like years, and I really dig Matt Reeves. Matt Reeves. Darn it. You know, Cloverfield's great. You know, Let Me In.
Yeah, his remake of Let the Right One In.
Yeah, Let Me In is just amazing. I just saw it like a couple months ago. And, you know, his Planet of the Apes movies are just like, well, just as one, but, you know, War looks really good. But, yeah, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes is just, you know, just awesome. And, you know, amazing filmmaker. I'm really excited to see what he does. You know, Batman's my favorite superhero, so it seems like it's in good hands. Just anyone's more competent than Zack Snyder, though, than Zack Snyder. So, yeah, I'm really digging that. I think he came back because, well, it's just rumored at this point. They gave him full creative control. So, you know, we won't have Batman killing anyone. Probably not. I think he seems like a fan.
Yeah, well, I don't like that interpretation of Batman. Right. I still don't think that was the problem with the movie. Right. You know, like I'm a very big Batman Returns fan, and he blows up a warehouse full of villains in there.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It's just like everyone knows Batman doesn't kill. Like, you know, 5-year-olds. You know, like regular people. You know, tribes in like third world countries that haven't made contact with civilization knows Batman doesn't kill. But, you know, like, Zack Snyder just didn't care, so...
well, as for the Matt Reeves news, yeah, I'm a huge fan. Cloverfield, I mean, we're just talking about a bunch of people I'm a big fan of today, thankfully. And Cloverfield is one of my favorite movies also. I think that's one of the best uses of digital cameras as well. Right. And just digital and...
found footage.
Found footage, just really great stuff there. Yeah. His whole filmography so far is just like win.
Even the Pole Bear?
Actually, I haven't seen that one, so I can't.
I haven't seen it.
The Pole Bear.
It's like his first movie he did.
Oh, okay, like way back when?
Like in the 90s, yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, no, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it has...
Cloverfield to now. Yeah. I'm a fan of everything he's done.
It has David Schwimmer.
Really quick,
okay.
What would you like to see in a Batman movie?
The Batman? You know, it seems like it's kind of... It seems like it's Deathstroke is the villain. Rumored is all the Arkham... It's like an asylum breakout. But like, just regardless of that.
Yeah, regardless. What would you want to see?
I would really want to see like villains we haven't seen before or that's gotten the spotlight, like Black Mask. Because Batman has like such a great rogues gallery.
I think he has the best. He's got the best one. Yeah.
I'd really want to see like Black Mask like, because he's a really interesting villain, you know.
Well, Gotham City Sirens might have him.
Yeah, so that could be his introduction. But I would want to see like Mr. Freeze done again, like because the thing with this new Batman is it's not bogged down in reality as much as the Nolan movies were, because there were a lot of villains they could not use like Man Bat in their thing.
Yeah.
Like,
I'd love to see.
I would want to see Man Bat. But yeah, they couldn't use like anything so far out. So I'd want to see like all the Batman villains like you wouldn't see in a Nolan movie, like Mr. Freeze again, Man Bat, Ventriloquist, and Scarface. It's crazy. Hush.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Trying to think of some really like crazy villains he has. Darn it.
Condiment King. I still haven't seen the Lego Batman movie.
Yeah,
but,
Condiment King's in there. Yeah, just really out there villain like Dr. Phosphorus or something. Just go crazy. I just want to see them like just go crazy with it. I guess.
For me, I want to see
and him not killing anyone.
Yeah, of course for you. Yeah. I'm on board with the no killing thing. I'm just open to it if it's a good movie, basically. Right. I want to see a more like intrinsically comic book Gotham City. Right. I want to see like Gotham with a red sky. Yeah. And I'd like for it to revolve around him reconnecting with what's left of the Bat family. Right. While introducing new members. Maybe not Damian Wayne yet, because one thing at a time. But I'd like for these new Batman movies to be about his family and his his connection to people through Batman. Like he's like brooding loner, but like. He really just wants a family. Yeah.
Or if he goes through an arc, that's better than Martha.
Basically. Yeah. I also hold that's the idea behind that scene. Yeah, no, is good.
But execution.
Execution bad.
Okay, so.
Right. And then the next thing, we had a couple trailers dropped the day before recording this episode. First one up, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I think, is it the last trailer? Or
I think they're probably going to do another trailer.
Okay. Oh, yeah. We're still kind of far away. Yeah. One. It looks like the first Marvel movie in a while to have really good color grading. The colors really pop. They're using the red 8K camera, which is just it looks really good. Yeah. It looks fun. We don't really know much about the plot, but
it seems like what's her face is a villain.
Yeah,
her name
Elizabeth Debicki.
Yeah, I think she's
she's the same race that Adam Warlock's from the comics.
Yeah, I forgot her name.
They're genetically perfect. I believe.
No, she's not.
They're not the Spartaks, no.
Okay, but yeah, she seems to be the villain. But what were you saying?
Yeah. It never dawned on me until recently.
Oh, it's Aisha.
Aisha, yeah, that's right. That even though Ego is in the movie as Kurt Russell, I just assumed he would be the villain. No one ever said, "Oh, Ego, the Living Planet, that's the villain for a movie." They just said he's in it. Right. And so it just it hit me, and I was like, "Oh wow, I never thought about that." And then I like the idea that they set up with the villain. It's just a little brief line in the trailer where they're like, "Oh, we're gonna purge the galaxy of this distraught stuff," and because they're physically perfect beings, but maybe they're not. They don't have emotions to be damaged and such. Yeah, I think that's an interesting idea. How do you contrast these asshole superheroes with another villain? You don't need another Ronin. You don't need another being of pure evil. Right. And so I don't know. I think that's a cool idea. Yeah. I never thought of that.
Yeah, dig it. Plot's been kind of secret, but we got a lot of hints. I mean, yeah, it looks really cool. See Ego, first look at him was it's interesting. I think he's just how Kurt Russell is. He's just an avatar for him.
Yeah, I think that was a thing. And then there's a line in, I think, the Comic-Con trailer where Drax asks if he has a penis or something like that. Did he? Yeah, if anyone went to Comic-Con and saw that.
I haven't
let me know.
That, yeah. But no, it looks really cool. Just everything about it just, wowed me. I'm just really interested in, Aisha, but also the Ravagers.
Yeah, they're supposed to have an even bigger part in this one. Yeah. And I was surprised that they even, were so present in the first one,
Right. So. It was cool to see them actually be the villains, I guess, because they get taken over by Taserface, I think.
Yeah. And, it looks like a movie that's doing something totally different from its predecessor, which is really what you want all sequels to do. You don't go to see the same movie again, So, it looks like good stuff. James Gunn, that guy, stick around for a Guardians trilogy, please. Right. And the last trailer we're going to talk about before we move on to things, Alien Covenant. the prologue and the official trailer. The prologue,
The First Supper.
It said it was
The Last Supper.
Last Supper. It said it was directed by Tony Scott. Ridley Scott's son. Rest in peace, Tony Scott. Sorry. And
I knew. Yeah, the director of Morgan.
Yeah, you didn't like that. I haven't seen it.
I saw it like as a studio screening, like where they test screening. Yeah, like a year before it came out, and it was just. They were like, "Oh yeah, it's not finished, so be easy on it," but it still was fucking terrible.
Okay,
it was absolutely terrible.
But they look like snippets, like from the actual movie. Mm-hmm. I think he just edited it.
Yeah, it seems like it was really edited heavy.
And the editing was a little choppy.
Yeah, I kind of liked it. It was very had a lot of tension.
It does something really well where it just shows these people being people.
Yeah,
like you get a little snippet about each and every one of them. I like that there's a gay couple on the ship, gays in space.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Damien Bashir.
Okay.
And whoever he's with, they're a couple.
Okay.
That makes me very happy. I'm like, wait a second, I thought this was like a colonial colony, so maybe they're like in charge of it because they can't reproduce. Yeah. Obviously. But I don't know. That's not a nitpick.
They could adopt.
I just had a question. Yeah. Maybe they're adopting. That was just a question I had.
They'll adopt one of the aliens.
Yeah. If they both survive, this is the best movie ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the trailer. What'd you think of the trailer?
I really dug it. It was very tension-filled. Aliens always have the best trailers, When in space, no one could hear you scream.
Yeah.
That was such a great one. It looked cool. You saw a lot of, you saw more of the xenomorphs. They're not quite what we saw in Alien and Aliens. There's evolving.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
A couple things. There's one that looks like the Deacon at the end of Prometheus.
Okay, yeah.
Like, it looks just like it, and I don't think it's the same one or anything, just, I guess they're really going to explore different types of aliens, which is something I wanted the franchise to do more.
In Prometheus?
In any Alien movie. Like, in Aliens, you get the Queen, cool. In Alien 3, you get the dog alien, cool. In Alien Resurrection, you get, well, I'm not sure what it is, but it's weird, and not cool, but whatever. Resurrection's a weird fucking movie, so... This whole thing. It's another can of worms. Mm-hmm. And I like the posters that they put out too. The first one, it's the alien face, run. This one, the alien egg, hide. I don't know what they're going to show in the next one, but I bet it's going to say scream.
Or, shit your pants.
Yeah, or shit your pants, because them xenomorphs, man.
Yeah.
It's like the movie villain for me. I can talk about Alien all day, so we should move on. I believe we have an interview segment with Danny Miki.
Yes.
Gene?
Yeah. I interviewed him at Long Beach Comic Con this last September, and we were talking about All-Star Batman, which is a great run by Scott Snyder, so check it out.
All right, and we'll be right back.
Awesome. So, hi, this is Gina Versa. I'm here at Long Beach Comic Con at the Here Initiative booth. I'm with Danny Miki, the current eker of All-Star Batman. How you doing, Danny?
Fine, how you doing?
Doing pretty good, pretty good. So, Danny... Oh, sorry?
Return the question right back down.
There you go. So Danny, you, Scott, and Greg, you finished 51 issues, and we're on All-Star Batman. We relaunched. What's been the coolest aspect of working on All-Star?
I think the fact that he's not in Gotham, where it's actually like a road trip. I love road trips, so anything you're looking at, like scenic, desert roads. A cafe in the, out of the blue, like a little diner and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. Yeah. So this right now is just a wild ride, and I just call it a road trip from hell.
Right.
It's exciting.
Kind of Mad Max-ish.
Yeah, kind of Mad Max-ish. Yeah, on the road, on the run. Absolutely, that's right. So, trees, lakes.
Very cool.
Stuff. Batman in the day, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. When was the last time you seen that? And the relaunch, it brought back Two-Face, who we haven't really seen for a while. It's like Scott's first Two-Face story, was it? And he's a little different this time. Can you talk about Two-Face?
I think the transition of him with longer hair, and I mean, I just found out that because he was shot, I suppose. So they did say to make him a little bit more gritted up and messed up, and I didn't completely understand why. But I just like the transformation of him from knowing from what I looked at before. like in a nice suit, you picture him nice clean cut. But this one, his hair is long. He's a little bit more crazy, radical, more evil eye. So it's just a little more, I don't know, out of the box for Two-Face for me to ink. Because he's long hair, you know, and one side's kind of all fried up. I get it, like Two-Face is, but it seems like it's a little bit more fried than kind of like radioactive mess that, or you know, kind of like this formation. It's more like fried, kind of. And the way Dean colors him too, it looks like it's like lava or something. It's kind of jacked up. Yeah, so it's kind of cool.
And we're back. Okay, so let's talk about the Oscars. Oscars. Do they matter? Are we dead? Why is Donald Trump president? Can dogs look up?
Yeah.
Questions.
They can look up.
They can look up. Yes, that's just a.
Is Donald Trump up right now?
It's just I hate my life.
Yeah.
The Oscars were okay. I'm happy with most of the things that won. I think.
Do you mean the ceremony or like?
The ceremony was okay. The movies the awards were given to, for the most part, I'm like, sure. Then Suicide Squad comes in. And like, why did that win?
What a world! What a time to be alive! Suicide Squad, an Oscar-winning movie.
I hate everything. But I get the La La Land backlash.
Yeah.
I don't agree with it, but
yeah,
I get it.
Well,
it's divisive time.
I think it's just like a cool thing now to like hate on like the front runner. You know, like for the most part, you know, it's just
I don't. This year is very different because I would sort of agree with that.
Okay.
But I think this year the circumstances surrounding the entire like world at the moment, it comes across as like literally black versus white.
Right.
You know, and both of the movies, the directors are good friends.
Yeah.
You know, Damien Chazelle and Barry Jenkins, and they both made, I think, very good movies. I think Moonlight is better.
Yeah.
But there's, you know, that's not what those movies are about. La La Land, well, sure, I wish there were more people of color in the cast. It's not It's not a white supremacist movie or anything.
Even though
it's an old feel good Hollywood throwback movie.
Yeah.
Like listening to Damien Chazelle talk about it in one of the director's roundup, he mentions like being inspired by the Technicolor musicals, but like obviously he couldn't afford to make like the Technicolor like visuals because of their budget. So like, that's why he shot it in LA, because LA has a very Technicolor sky.
Yeah.
And then Moonlight, obviously, it's fucking incredible.
It's a great film.
Like, introspective look at this young man's life and like the effects of toxic masculinity and identity and just fantastic stuff.
It's a great film.
Yeah.
They're both great films.
Yeah. So in a way, I kind of love. One, I love the snafu because it's like just the funniest awkward thing ever.
Yeah, for a time they both won.
And I forgot where I read it, but someone put like for Best Picture winner.
Yeah.
It was La La Land for 1 minute and 35 seconds.
Yeah.
And then Moonlight right under it.
It's like Dewey beat Truman.
Yeah. I think it's actually kind of great now. Like it was a funny situation, like not for everyone involved, but it was great how they ended up sharing the stage. It's like which one will win? Which one's the better movie? Well, they both won at one point.
Yeah,
like,
sure.
That's hilarious. And then even the Variety story,
right.
Barry Jenkins and Damien Chazelle shared the cover, which is something that doesn't happen.
Yeah, I mean that's cool. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like people are just like hating on it like as like a competition sort of thing, like going for like the Falcons in the Super Bowl, like they view it like as like a Super Bowl like event, and like it's like competitive, and it's like they want to like just hate on like the front runner because it's the front runner without really appreciating the movie.
Yeah,
you know, I feel like that's a lot of it. Sometimes I feel
that can be there. This time, I think there were a lot of other factors. Given political climates and whatnot,
and it wasn't terrible like The Revenant. Like last year.
I think
because it's a really.
If
good
it was
movie.
look, if it was like Hacksaw Ridge versus Moonlight, that's a totally different story. Because I talked
you
about.
saw Hacksaw Ridge.
I did watch it, and I didn't like it.
You hated it.
I you know what? No, I didn't hate it. I hated the.
Hate Mel Gibson.
I hate Mel Gibson, but he's made some of my favorite stuff.
Right.
So it's like
he's a good director.
Yeah, I talked about it on Real Film Chatter.
Yeah.
We had a good discussion, like separating the art from the artist, like
because you could like Woody Allen movies, but you just don't like Woody Allen.
Yeah, and also it's okay to just not want to watch them. You know, like what do you think of this movie? Well, it's directed by a piece of shit who told his wife to get assaulted.
I can't say that.
I'm not going to say anything about it. phrasing wise.
He's a terrible.
He's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And so if someone doesn't want to participate in watching any of his work,
yeah, I mean, I won't. Yeah, I won't tell him that, you can't really make an argument.
Yeah, you know, like
it's
like
more of a
that would
preference.
be totally different, you know,
Yeah.
or like a legitimate like hateful piece of human garbage versus bundle of joy and sunshine, Barry Jenkins.
Yeah, he's in. Have you seen like him going through the Criterion?
Yes, dude. That's like I felt like I was like right there talking to him.
Yeah,
I was like, oh my god,
he's a cool dude.
I bet he likes Bad Boys too.
Maybe.
I don't know. He shot Moonlight in Miami, where he's from. No, okay. But yeah, that was a good ending to a very solemn kind of dull award show.
Yeah.
I didn't think Jimmy Kimmel did bad. He just didn't do anything remarkable.
Yeah.
The Matt Damon stuff always makes me laugh for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He tweeted Donald Trump, which was cool.
Yeah. I didn't like the joke he made about. I don't remember specifically the wording he used, but foreign names and like haha, it's funny.
Like you couldn't pronounce it. Yeah, I vaguely recall that.
Yeah, I was like, I just don't think those kind of jokes are funny. It's like that's someone's name, like
very kind of juvenile.
Yeah.
Who was the host last year? It was like Neil Patrick Harris.
No, I think he was the year before. Chris Brown was the host last year. I think.
Chris
Rock.
Chris
Oh
Rock,
my god,
yeah.
Chris Brown was
Rock
there.
was
I
awesome.
would have not watched.
Chris Rock was good.
Yeah, Chris Rock was good. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. He was just Jimmy Kimmel. Could have been worse. Could have been Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah. Oh shit, yeah. I actually wish the show was more politically charged. It felt kind of safe.
Yeah, it was like
actually.
Yeah.
You know, that was surprising to me.
Yeah, sure.
Given the year we've had, and it's only February or March. It's March. Actually. Yeah, it's March. Oh my god.
Yeah.
It feels like it's been 20 years.
Yeah, more or less. But any other going back to awards? I don't know. I was pretty satisfied with all the winners for the most part. Obviously, you know, not Suicide Squad winning because Star Trek Beyond did an amazing job.
Yeah, they created 50 new
different aliens. Fuck.
And like, look, man. If Suicide Squad had legitimately good makeup, we'd be saying like, yeah, you know, the movie was shit, but the good makeup and Killer Croc looks cool.
Right.
They got face paint on properly onto 2 actors, and yeah, that's it. That's,
well, yeah, you know, really I was telling you earlier. The thing with Killer Croc is like, yeah, he's a good design, but he's under like a fucking. It's like the Godzilla thing where it's like he's in the movie, but you don't. He's like under.
Oh, that's totally different.
Okay.
Don't even.
Okay, sorry. But you know, he's wearing like a jacket. He's wearing like a hoodie. He's like you can't even see the makeup. You know. Mm-hmm. But anyway, that's beside the point.
Yeah, that was the only thing where it was like scratching my head, like, really?
Yeah.
That?
And I can't believe in short film live action seeing one over Silent Night. No, I didn't see any of the short films. You know, you never see anyone like, oh, that was a big short film upset. Or like, I want to see them.
I think there needs to be a way to make those like more readily available.
Yeah, I'm sure some theaters play it. But like,
I wish more theaters did that.
Yeah,
like that'd be cool. Like a while ago, people were suggesting the Marvel films, totally different caliber, obviously. But the Marvel films play their Marvel one shots before their movies. Like,
right.
Who wouldn't want to see that? You know, Pixar does that.
Yeah. Let's go through the categories. Animated feature, Zootopia one. I was okay. I think Zootopia.
I love Zootopia. I love Moana and Kubo a lot more though.
Okay.
So I like Moana's really stuck with me. Zootopia. Good gateway to talking about race relations and gender politics for kids, but I think Moana does the same thing about gender politics,
right?
In a way that doesn't make it the text of the movie; it's a subtext of the movie,
right?
And I found that more impressive actually. Yeah,
definitely.
And also, I love that fantasy shit, you know. So and the songs are so good.
Production design, La La Land one.
Yeah, good.
I really think Hail Caesar had...
Oh, Hail Caesar, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, it's good.
Okay.
It had good production design.
Yeah.
You know, like...
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Visual effects was Jungle Book.
Yeah. I think that's a good one. The whole thing's like digital effects, and it doesn't feel like it.
Feel like I think they filmed it all in the studio.
Yeah.
In like downtown LA or something.
No, look, it's... You know it's not real, but it feels real.
Yeah.
And that's important.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. I was kind of rooting for Rogue One because they brought Grand Moff Tarkin, who's been dead for like 20 years back to life.
I didn't think they did a very good job of that, though, either. So
The technology.
I'm like #1 Rogue One fan alongside you.
The technology I feel is like one step away from being perfect. It's come a long way since. No, it's come a long way since Tron Legacy.
It has come a long way.
Like where space
I don't think it should have happened at all. Is what my thing is.
They had the okay for the estate.
Doesn't make it okay. It still looks bad. I think.
I think it looks fine. I saw it like 4 times.
Yeah. It opens a whole floodgates of things that I'm sure we're going to see a lot more of in the future.
Film editing, Hacksaw Ridge. Okay.
Yeah, no, Moonlight or La La Land, I thought.
I felt, La La Land had really strong editing. Hell or High Water had some really cool cuts.
I'd be okay with that. I liked Hell or High Water.
That was a good one.
It definitely is good. I will leave it at that.
Yeah, Moonlight, like the scene with, was the scene where he just gets beat up? He's like, has his like face in the ice and he just got beat up and then like, you know, you're cutting, doesn't it cut back from like him he goes to the school or something? I'm trying to remember that scene.
The way that scene, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, it's really impressive, and I think what a lot of it is, we don't have a lot of time to keep going, but what makes Moonlight so special in every category is that Barry Jenkins, he talks about this in the same interview with Damien Chazelle.
Yeah.
He studied a lot of foreign films, you know?
Right,
To watch different techniques and to learn how to make movies, like, differently. Mm-hmm. Like, it's not that it's cookie cutter to make American style, but, like, he studied a lot of Wong Kar-wai.
Okay. Yeah, I think.
And so
it's
it
different.
Feels different. It's like, I heard it called the first foreign American film, which I thought was very interesting. Yeah.
All right. It's, what else won? Cinematography, La La Land.
I really wish it had been Moonlight, and to show how strong.
I kind of wanted Silence.
I still need to watch Silence. It's a Martin Scorsese movie. I'm not gonna argue.
It's okay. Like no one saw it.
I know, like 5 people, maybe $5.
Yeah.
To show how strong the cinematography is in Moonlight and how like what a good director can do for you. It's the same cinematographer who did Tusk. So
okay. All right, let's not okay. We're going to the next thing. La La Land. I felt for original song and soundtrack, I think it was well deserved.
The songs in Moana were
okay.
Like,
well, for soundtrack, sure.
No, like soundtrack and score. Yeah, like, I think both. I think Moana had the best.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I have to listen to the Moana soundtrack again.
You're gonna be humming it for days.
No, I saw Moana.
No.
Writing Manchester by Sea, I think really deserved it.
I haven't seen it yet, but even people that like didn't like the movie have commented on how like how unique the script is.
Yeah, I think they post.
It reads.
I think I downloaded the script. It's like he writes it where it's like half of the page. If 2 characters are talking, like he'll literally like put like their character talking like in like the same space. They're just like divided, so like they're in the same row and everything. And it's like I think he's a really good writer, Kenneth Lundgren. So I think he deserved it.
And there's a day where I just need to watch that and Margaret back to back.
Yeah,
because I've heard good things.
Right. Adapted screenplay Moonlight.
Yay!
Yeah. Deserved.
Yeah.
Go to supporting actress and actor.
Mahershala Ali. His full name's longer.
He was barely like in that movie for 30 minutes, and like he left such a good impression.
Yeah.
Like you miss him for the rest of the movie.
Yeah, because I mean it's divided into 3 perfect acts.
Yeah,
you know,
his presence is felt.
Yeah, definitely, and that guy had a great 2016.
Yeah,
he was this Luke Cage.
Right.
He was in House of Cards again. I didn't see it, but. That's where I first saw him.
Yeah, he deserved that.
Yeah, I was rooting for him more than anything in this season. And Viola Davis, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I need to watch Fences. Yeah. I'm really looking forward to doing that.
It's a good movie.
And Viola Davis winning a delayed Oscar for her Academy Award-winning work in Black Hat. Mm-hmm. Awesome.
Yeah. Best Director, let me see.
It was Damien Chazelle.
Yeah, I mean...
I think
he did a good job.
He did it. I think he did a great job. I feel like his direction was sharper in Whiplash, but that's more with the context of the movie too.
Yeah.
Where La La Land's a little looser, a little more dreamlike. Barry Jenkins, I mean, Moonlight came out of nowhere for me.
Yeah.
So I was rooting for him too. A solid win though.
Right.
Solid, yeah. Like if Mel Gibson won, I would have been like, all right, guys, like, stop.
yeah. I think Denis Villeneuve.
Denis Villeneuve.
Yeah.
Great work in Arrival.
But yeah, I mean, they all did a good job except Mel Gibson. Yeah. And then we're just actor Casey Affleck.
That's a whole other can of worms. But briefly, I didn't see Manchester by the Sea.
Yeah.
I also don't think, regardless of separating art from the artist, that people, whether or not they legally committed anything wrong, they've been accused of it, and so there needs to be more discussion about that than allowing them to participate in these events. Nate Parker wasn't invited to the Oscars because he was accused of the same thing.
Yeah.
Why was Casey Affleck? You know, like, I don't care how good his performance was. If you're a teacher and you're accused of a heinous act like that, you're not going to be a teacher anymore.
Yeah.
I think that should be applicable to any career.
Yeah, sure.
So those are my feelings on that.
Yeah. Actress Emma Stone, I think she did a great job.
She did good. Natalie Portman and Jackie was my choice. I thought that was just beyond anything I thought she was capable of. Not that I've ever thought she was bad. Just that shook me.
Yeah, and we already talked about Best Picture, so.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts before we move on?
God, I wish Kubo was up for more stuff, but that's just a personal thing. Like, at the end of the day, I don't know what else I would nominate it for, like, besides Best Picture, because I think it's all good components that end up making a powerful experience.
Yeah, definitely.
You know. So Kubo, I wish was more recognized. It would have been nice to see Rogue One for cinematography.
Yeah.
I know there wasn't even like the nomination, but like I was.
Yeah, definitely.
I cannot wait to rewatch that just and like gaze at these pictures. You know?
April 4th, another month away.
Oh, can't wait.
Buy that Blu-ray first day it comes out.
Heck yeah. I never say heck, but heck yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I guess moving on.
Yeah. Which one of these do you think will stand the test of time? And what else would you have liked to have been nominated? Okay. Let's just combine this.
Sure. I think Moonlight will definitely stand the test of time because it's such a unique movie. There isn't really any stories like it in film that kind of tell that unique story. Again, I like the comment that you made where it's like the first American foreign film, but it's just different than everything else. Mm-hmm. So I think it'll be shown maybe 20 years, 30 years from now with all the essential films you need to see. I think so.
Mm-hmm. So that's totally getting Criterion edition.
Oh yeah.
Right? Like
they've been doing movies where it's I think they already have Camera Person.
They have Camera Person, yeah.
And it just came out last year, so they're they'll put anything on there.
Well, no, they won't put on Black Hat, unfortunately.
Bastards.
Armageddon somehow got on there. Don't know what that's about, right?
It's yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah, Moonlight for sure. I think it's going to be a definitive movie, and I think it's one of the movies that's like, oh, that won Best Picture. Good. Where you don't look back like, really, that one?
How Green Was My Valley over Citizen Kane?
Like, really? Yeah. Or Crash, which is maybe the worst Best Picture winner.
Right.
I like Spotlight winning. I didn't think it was the best movie of the year, but I liked it. I think it's a strong movie about important stuff that deserved recognition for its work. And then Moonlight just comes out and knocks everything down. You're just like, oh yeah, that's a legitimate Best Picture.
Yeah. I really think, because this is my opinion, because I saw an early screening of it and I was really blown away by Arrival. Mm-hmm. I think Arrival, because I don't know how well it did. I think it did okay. It
did good. Yeah,
I feel like it's going to be something like Blade Runner or Silent Running, or it doesn't do that big of numbers. Mm-hmm. But slowly over time it becomes this cult sci-fi film everyone watches.
Definitely.
I really think that'll happen for Arrival. I think it'll stand the test of time.
Yeah, I could see that. And I think it's interesting that the best movies of last year, a lot of them had to do with how we communicate with one another.
Yeah.
And who we are as people, individually or on a broader scale. Mm-hmm. And so that'd be really interesting to watch a double feature of those two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Good stuff.
Mm-hmm. I think Hell or High Water is gonna like pick up like a really big following eventually as well, because that was a really good movie. Like I just saw that just randomly because I didn't really see any trailers for it. Like I just saw it on a Sunday, and yeah, it was really like Hell or High Water. You need to see that.
I have seen it.
Oh, you have seen it? Okay.
I liked it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any thoughts on any films?
Nice Guys and The Witch.
Oh, well, that were nominated. That'll stand the test of time.
Moonlight. Moonlight for sure. Yeah, no. Besides that, I think you got a pretty good list of nominees and winners. Mm-hmm. So I think for the most part, the ones that deserve to be remembered from these lineups, they're going to be. Okay. Because they're actually that good this year.
Suicide Squad.
No. Accent for the most part.
That's it, huh?
Some sort of Academy Award winning Suicide Squad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Any movie that you felt should have been nominated?
The Witch.
The Witch. Yeah.
The direction in that is so crisp and precise. Like it's like dumbfounding to me that it wasn't nominated for at least Best Director.
I think the score for that should have been nominated because that was like really haunting. Yeah, that you have like fucking passengers.
Fuck yeah! What was that?
What was that? Yeah, I didn't get why that was nominated.
When I saw that was nominated, I was like, it had music.
Yeah, right.
What? Like I'm sorry, I don't like Passengers at all. Yeah. The script is not the problem. It's the direction.
Yeah, sure.
What kind of? Who decided that?
Yeah.
Who voted for that?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's my other big WT. What the fuck?
Yeah.
No.
Any other movies that I felt like should have been?
Jackie should have got more recognition. I think.
Yeah.
That score also totally haunting and just like really cathartic and really. I mean, a lot of movies last year really dealt with communication, as I mentioned before, and grief, and that's very suitable for 2016. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One movie I really liked was 20th Century One.
I wanted to watch that and Certain Women.
Yeah. And Annette Bening is really great. She should have been picked up for something. Loving, I think maybe should have got some.
Ruth Negga.
Yeah. It was just like
nominated, right?
Yeah.
And I caught her back when she was a recurring role in Misfits, that little UK show about the juvenile superheroes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and she was really good in that. I was like, oh, I hope I see her more stuff. And now she's an Academy Award-nominated actress.
Yeah. Sing Street, like for songs.
I want to watch that.
It's on Netflix, dude.
I heard Drive It Like You Stole It, and I was just like, dun, 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 dun. Like, I haven't seen the movie, and that song's just that good. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I'm surprised that didn't get nominated. Like, switch out one of the La La Land ones. La La Land's great, no? Again, we're both fans.
You don't need two songs.
Yeah, you don't need two songs from the same movie. Give everyone a chance.
Any other things? Any other?
I think the BFG.
BFG?
I'm surprised.
Screenplay or something?
Direction. I thought the direction was really good. I'll have to link to my review again because I have a lot of thoughts on that movie.
Gotcha.
And before we wrap up, let's. Do you have any more thoughts before we cut to an interview segment?
No, I think
Okay. Quick interview segment, and then we'll just wrap up with a movie review of a movie we've seen recently.
Yeah, and it's with Sam Jones, Flash fucking Gordon. There you go. Hi, this is Gina Versa. I'm here at Long Beach Comic Con with Sam Jones from the legendary film Flash Gordon. How you doing, Sam?
Good, Gene. Good, very well.
Good. So, Flash Gordon, when you guys were, getting right into it, when you guys were making it, did you think it was going to be this like huge cult film?
No, I mean, not really. As an actor, when you're hired to do a project, that in itself is a big blessing. And then if it does well at the box office, or if it has any type of longevity, especially becoming a sort of cult, iconic film for different multi generations, it's icing on the cake. So, before it was my age group and my children's age group, and now it's my children's children. It's wonderful. I'll have people come up to me. I'll have grandma, daughter, and granddaughter. It's amazing. It's amazing.
A lot of like pulp heroes. There's like Flash Gordon or like Buck Rogers, Doc Savage. They've been trying to make films of them for a couple years now. Like they've been trying to do a Doc Savage movie, and Flash Gordon is probably the only like modern like pulp hero that's gotten like a film. Like why do you think you guys were so like successful in getting it made, or it resonated?
Well, I think Flash Gordon, one of the few superheroes who does not have any superpowers. He's the go-to guy. You call him. When tyranny is coming in and abusing or taking advantage of any innocence, he's the go-to guy. He comes in and he neutralizes the threat or the nemesis. And I think a lot of similarities between me personally. I'm a former Marine. I'm known as the go-to guy in my family and in my circle of friends. And so, yeah. And I think nowadays, I think its longevity keeps going and going because I think the youth of America might be a little bit confused.
Yeah.
They're thinking bad is good and good is bad. Well, Flash Gordon is that example traditionally of what good is and what good should be at all times. And it should not be tainted and it should not be perverted.
Definitely. And one last question for you.
Yeah.
The last shot of Flash Gordon, I was like listening to the commentary or reading.
Oh, yeah.
You, I think it was the director, or no one knew what to have that last shot on set, and you came up with the idea of doing that.
Jump.
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
Were you thinking of anything else, or like what inspired that? I guess.
Well, the fact the camera was above my head, so I had to jump up in the camera. That was really it,
Okay. Cool. So thank you, Sam, so much for your time. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
About to wrap up. Gene, what movie have you seen recently?
Lego Batman, which is awesome because Batman doesn't kill anyone. But no, it's like a really fun movie for everyone. Like it's not just a kids movie. It's just a fun movie. They handled like the lore of Batman really good. You have like all these characters from like Condiment King to like Joker to even like Voldemort or something.
Oh, really?
Oh shit! I ruined that.
No. Go ahead.
Yeah,
It's my fault. I haven't seen it yet. Yeah.
But they get Batman really well. They understand him well. Will Arnett's great as Batman. It's a really good thing. Maybe like one or two critiques was like, I think Batman in the movie has existed for a while, but he barely has a Robin, and there's no Batgirl, and like he's, you know what I mean?
Okay, like minor thing, just not real like issue. It's just
right.
like something that bothered you.
And then just kind of like Batgirl, she doesn't really have a secret identity. She's just like Barbara Gordon, just puts on a costume and just goes out. I guess it's a Lego world, so it doesn't matter, but just like, I don't know, just kind of bugged me.
Okay, I see. I watched the almost white savior movie, The Great Wall, with Matt Damon.
Yeah.
Because I'm a fan of director Zhang, who's done such movies as Raise the Red Lantern, Hero, House of Flying Daggers. Yeah. Hero is one of my favorite movies. Yeah, and it is super dumb and super fun and super colorful. Few directors use color as vibrantly as he does. Like the climax of the movie takes place in like a building constructed with a lot of stained glass windows, and it's just gorgeous. Yeah. It's super dumb and sometimes too dumb, and it feels not compromised. Like it's a perfect mesh business wise of East and West interests. Right. The problem is it was just marketed as a white savior movie, and people are right to be upset about that. But when you watch the movie, Matt Damon and his European counterparts, like they're clearly like the butt of the joke. Like they're just stinky, smelly. Like they tell them like bathe before you go talk to the Chinese officers. Yeah. And the Chinese, like it's almost I've read a couple critiques where they discuss like, oh, like it's kind of leans into Chinese propaganda at some points. So it's like, oh yeah, it turns out it's not a white savior movie. It's actually Chinese propaganda.
Well, they need to make that money in China.
Yeah, and it is making money in China, just not making money here.
Yeah. Did pretty badly.
Tianjin, who is basically the main actress in the movie, it's like that's like the Mako Mori role.
Right.
If I had to compare it to something, right? Obviously, Mako Mori is Japanese, Tianjin is Chinese. She gets the arc in the movie. Like it's her hero's journey. And then Matt Damon is anything. He's like the Han Solo. Okay. But it's like if you open Star Wars with Han Solo and then met Luke later.
Yeah.
So it's like weird.
Does he have an arc?
Yeah. Where he's like, oh, we're going to steal black powder. It's gunpowder. Right? And they use it for explosives. And that's how they fight the aliens. Oh, yeah. They're aliens, by the way, I think.
From the ground.
From the crash and the Earth. Like, it's this parable about greed and such. And, like, a greedy emperor awoke them. It's weird. It's a weird fucking movie. And his arc is like, oh, I haven't... You hear it in the trailer and it's kind of bullshit there, but in the movies, I fought for greed and power and kings and for false gods, but now I'm fighting for, like, humanity. Mm-hmm. And, yeah, there's rough spots along the way, but he has a clear arc.
Right.
The rest of the European cast is, like, useless.
Right.
So I was surprised by that. Like, dude, just kill them off and set the stakes that way, or don't have them at all.
Yeah. And
then there's still the question that pertains, like, should they have been in the movie at all if it's a Chinese production?
I think someone said that. Oh, I think. Were you talking about, like, historically?
Historically, no. I mean, the Western culture did try to take a lot.
Yeah, so it makes sense.
Not even historically. Like, that's just happening, like, still.
Yeah.
So, but like it's a fictional world with monster aliens, so
right. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think I think the question could still exist.
Okay.
And I think it works in the movie, just not as well as it could have in terms of like parables. But I liked it, and I didn't expect that. You know, so
there you go.
I won't tell anyone to go watch it, but I liked it.
You personally liked it?
I personally liked
Fair
it.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, let's wrap up. Gene, where can people find you?
Find me at Gene9892 on Twitter. Instagram, on Facebook. You could go on my Facebook page. We own Nothing Films.
All right, and you can find me on Twitter at Diego Waffles, President Diego. Long story.
What else?
Instagram, Diego Waffles. We talk movies. Audiences everywhere.
Yeah.
My first post on Talk Film Society just went up today at the time of this recording for an obituary of sorts for the Hellboy duology and Del Toro's fascination with monsters and identity and fun stuff. So check that out too. And yeah, thanks for listening. Like, subscribe if you enjoyed this episode. If you didn't like it, like, subscribe anyways because you might find something you do like. Anything else you want to add?
No.
All right.
We've been unprofessional.
Hey.